There are battles in life that rage not on a battlefield, but within the confines of your own mind. Wars fought in silence, against an enemy that no one else can see. For Sarah, a bright, ambitious young woman, that enemy was chronic anxiety and panic disorder. It wasn't just stress. It was a relentless, suffocating force that choked her breath, paralyzed her with fear, and whispered lies that made her believe she was constantly in danger, utterly alone, and slowly losing control. Her life, once vibrant and full of dreams, had shrunk to a terrifying cycle of avoidance and fear. She lived in constant apprehension, anticipating the next wave of panic, the next surge of irrational fear. Simple tasks became monumental challenges. Social gatherings felt like terrifying gauntlets. She'd perfected the art of the quick escape, the plausible excuse, anything to avoid the places and situations that triggered her invisible torment. People saw a shy, perhaps reclusive, young woman. They didn't see the internal tremors, the pounding heart, the overwhelming dread that kept her a prisoner in her own home. She was battling a war she believed she was destined to lose, a terrifying journey through darkness without a map or a guide. But what if, even in the deepest, most terrifying trenches of your mind, a path to peace can be forged? What if, through an act of radical courage, an unexpected ally, and an unyielding commitment to fight back, you can reclaim your life from an invisible enemy? This is the extraordinary, raw, and utterly triumphant story of Sarah. It's a testament to the quiet suffering many endure, the profound strength it takes to face your own fears, and the remarkable journey of how one soul, lost in its internal battlefield, waged and ultimately won the battle she never thought she'd win. Prepare to be incredibly inspired, because this is a heartfelt chronicle about the unyielding power of resilience and Self-discovery. Sarah was in her early 20s when the anxiety began to take over. It started subtly, a racing heart before a presentation, a sudden wave of nausea in a crowded place. She dismissed it as stress, a normal part of young adulthood. But soon, these moments escalated. The racing heart would turn into a full-blown panic attack, shortness of breath, dizziness, a terrifying feeling of losing control, convinced she was having a heart attack or dying. These attacks would strike unexpectedly, without warning, turning once familiar places into terrifying triggers. Her world began to shrink. She stopped taking public transport, fearing being trapped. She avoided crowded supermarkets, opting for late-night trips to smaller stores. Social gatherings became unbearable, the fear of having an attack in public, a constant shadow. She left her dream job as an event planner, unable to cope with the high-stress environment and constant client interactions. She took a remote data entry job, which allowed her to work from the safety of her apartment, but further isolated her. Her days became a relentless cycle of anticipation and avoidance. She'd spend hours mentally rehearsing simple tasks, her mind a constant battlefield of what-ifs. The exhaustion was profound, the mental toll immense. She felt trapped, a prisoner in her own home, constantly on high alert. The paradox was agonizing. She desperately craved connection, but her anxiety violently pushed people away. Friends eventually stopped calling, unsure how to help, or simply tired of her endless excuses. Her parents, loving but bewildered, urged her to just relax, to think positive, advice that felt hollow and dismissive of her profound internal struggle. They didn't understand the invisible enemy she faced. She tried traditional therapy, briefly, but the idea of talking about her deepest fears felt too terrifying. She felt immense shame, a crushing guilt she couldn't simply snap out of it. She saw others navigating life with apparent ease and wondered what was so fundamentally wrong with her. She felt like a failure, a burden, a shadow draining the light from those around her. She considered seeking more intensive help, but the thought of leaving her home, of confronting her fears head-on, was paralyzing. So she retreated further, convinced she was better off alone, destined to fight this battle in utter solitude. The hope of a normal life, a life free from the suffocating grip of anxiety, slowly dwindled, replaced by a grim acceptance of her fate. She truly believed this was a battle she could never win. Sarah's only regular excursion outside her apartment was a brief, meticulously planned trip to the local community garden. It was usually quiet, especially on weekdays, allowing her a few precious moments of fresh air without the overwhelming fear of crowds. She found a strange, quiet comfort in tending her small patch, watching life grow, something she felt was no longer happening within her. One particular Tuesday afternoon, as she knelt by her small plot, carefully weeding, her hands trembled. She had an interview for a new, slightly higher-paying remote job the next day, and the anxiety about the upcoming video call, the need to perform, was crippling. Her heart raced, her breath felt shallow. She felt a familiar panic beginning to rise, threatening to engulf her. She closed her eyes, trying desperately to focus on her breathing, to push the rising tide of fear back down. Unbeknownst to Sarah, an older woman named Eleanor was sitting on a nearby bench, quietly observing. Eleanor was a retired therapist with decades of experience in mental health. She was a keen observer of human behavior and had a unique ability to sense distress in others, even when it was carefully hidden. She watched Sarah's subtle tremors, the forced stillness of her posture, the almost imperceptible quickening of her breath. She recognized the signs. She knew the invisible battle Sarah was fighting. Eleanor herself had faced her own battles with anxiety in her youth, before she found her calling as a therapist. She knew the profound loneliness, the consuming fear. She also knew that sometimes the smallest act of connection, the simplest acknowledgement, could be a lifeline. She didn't want to intrude, to overwhelm. She simply wanted to offer a quiet presence, a gentle invitation to connect. Sarah, still struggling to regain control, finally managed to open her eyes. Her gaze, still unfocused, fell upon a small, beautifully painted rock near her garden patch. It wasn't there before. It was painted with vibrant colors, depicting a serene blue sky and a tiny, almost invisible bird soaring freely. And on its underside, a tiny, handwritten inscription. "You are stronger than you think. Keep breathing." Sarah stared at the rock. The simplicity of the message, the unexpected beauty of the tiny gift, pierced through her rising panic. "You are stronger than you think. Keep breathing." It felt like a direct message to her, a whisper of understanding from the universe itself. She looked around. No one. The garden was still quiet. She carefully picked up the rock, its smooth surface cool against her trembling fingers. She felt a strange sense of calm settling over her, a fragile but undeniable peace. She didn't know who had left it. She didn't know why someone would leave such a message for her. But the gesture, so simple, so profound, had broken through her isolation. For the first time in what felt like forever, she felt seen. Not judged, not dismissed, but truly seen. She tucked the rock into her pocket, its small weight a comforting presence. The panic attack, which had been threatening to engulf her, slowly receded. Her breath deepened. The world still felt challenging, but now, a tiny flicker of hope, unfamiliar yet undeniable, began to burn within her. She didn't know it then, but that small, unassuming rock was the first step on her path to winning the battle she thought was unwinnable. The painted rock became Sarah's anchor. She carried it with her everywhere, its weight a constant, tangible reminder of that unexpected moment of connection, that silent message of hope. She started returning to the community garden more frequently, not just for solace, but with a new, quiet curiosity. She never saw anyone leave another rock, never saw anyone who looked like a giver. The mystery of her angel remained, but the message, "You are stronger than you think. Keep breathing," resonated deeply. She revisited her therapy notes, pulled out old self-help books she had abandoned. She began to truly engage with the concept of facing her fears, of challenging the anxious thoughts that had imprisoned her. It was agonizingly difficult. Each small step felt like a monumental effort, but the thought of that rock, that unseen message, kept her going. One day, at the garden, Sarah noticed Eleanor, the older woman, tending a nearby rosebush. Their eyes met. Eleanor offered a gentle, warm smile. Sarah, feeling an unfamiliar surge of courage, smiled back, truly, genuinely. She even managed to quiet beautiful roses. Eleanor, recognizing the open invitation, walked over. "They are, aren't they? They remind me that even after a harsh winter, beauty always finds a way to bloom." Her gaze was kind, knowing, "You seem to be doing better, dear. I often see you here." Sarah, surprised by the directness but comforted by the warmth, found herself opening up, hesitantly at first, and with increasing honesty. She spoke of her struggles, her anxiety, her despair. She even, shyly, showed Eleanor the painted rock, explaining its profound impact. Eleanor listened patiently, her eyes never leaving Sarah's face. When Sarah finished, Eleanor simply nodded. "That's a very special rock, Sarah, and you are a very strong young woman. You know, I used to struggle with anxiety myself, a long time ago." Sarah's eyes widened in surprise. "You did?" Eleanor smiled. "Oh, yes. It's an invisible battle, isn't it? But it's winnable. It takes courage, and it takes community. And sometimes," she added, her eyes twinkling, "it takes a little reminder to keep breathing." She didn't explicitly admit to leaving the rock, but the implication was clear. Sarah felt a warmth spread through her, a profound sense of not being alone. Her angel had a face, a voice, and a shared understanding. Eleanor, a retired therapist, became Sarah's unofficial mentor, her guiding light. She didn't just offer advice. She offered understanding, a listening ear, and a profound belief in Sarah's ability to heal. She taught Sarah practical coping mechanisms, relaxation techniques, and ways to challenge her negative thought patterns. She encouraged Sarah to reconnect with friends, to tentatively step back into the world. Sarah began to rebuild her life, piece by painstaking piece. She found a new part-time job, client-facing this time, slowly pushing her boundaries, learning to manage her anxiety in real-world situations. She started reconnecting with her estranged friends, explaining her battle, surprising them with her newfound vulnerability and courage. They, in turn, offered support, understanding, and the warmth of renewed connection. Her parents, witnessing her transformation, wept with relief and pride. They finally began to truly understand the depth of her struggle and the incredible strength it took to overcome it. The community garden became her sanctuary of growth. She started a small project, leaving painted rocks with inspiring messages. For others, paying forward the kindness she had received. She became an advocate for mental health awareness, using her own story to break the stigma, inspiring countless others to seek help, to believe in their own strength, to know that their invisible battles were winnable. She lived with her anxiety, yes, but now she managed it. It no longer controlled her. She was the one in control. Sarah's journey is a powerful reminder that mental health battles are real, excruciatingly painful, and often invisible, but they are not insurmountable. Her story shows us that the greatest strength lies not in the absence of fear, but in the courage to face it, one breath at a time. It's a testament to the profound impact of a single act of kindness, a subtle reminder that you are seen, you are valued, and you are far stronger than you think. Her tale is a beacon of hope for anyone living in the suffocating grip of anxiety or despair. It reminds us that recovery is a journey, not a destination, and that along that path, guardian angels in disguise often appear in the most unexpected places, offering the simple gesture that can change everything. Because when you find the courage to fight the battle within, and when someone sees your silent struggle and offers a glimmer of light, you don't just win a battle. You reclaim your entire life. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed or see someone silently struggling, remember Sarah and the painted rock. Remember Eleanor. Remember that your greatest victory might be the one no one else sees, fought in the quiet corners of your mind, and won with the unwavering strength of your own spirit, supported by the simple, profound kindness of another. If Sarah's incredible story of the battle I never thought I'd win touched your heart, if it reignited a spark of hope or reminded you of the profound strength within us all, please take a moment to like this video. Your likes help us share these powerful true stories of resilience and healing with more people who need to hear them. And if you're moved by true tales of the human spirit, unexpected connections, and life's beautiful transformations, be sure to subscribe to Heartfelt Chronicles. We bring you inspiring stories every week that remind us that even the toughest battles can be won. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss another journey with us. What's an invisible battle you fought and are proud to have overcome? Or what simple gesture helped you through a difficult time? Share your powerful experiences and thoughts in the comments below. Let's create a space for support and shared understanding. Thank you for watching. And remember, you are stronger than you think, and your struggles do not define you. See you in the next video.